In this episode, Ken talks about the importance of time management and the habits that shape long-term success. He shares how documenting goals, gratitude, daily habits, and lessons learned helped him stay focused through challenges and grow both personally and professionally. He also breaks down how intentional use of your time, especially outside of the typical 9 to 5, can completely change your trajectory. Like and subscribe to Clear Channel for more.
All right, it's called Leverage of Time. All right, guys. So, hey, I want to talk to you guys about a couple things. Couple quotes that came to mind, couple things I found. I've been cleaning my office here in the house. My wife came in the other day and was like, "You're like a hoarder. Like, you got so much shit in here. Get some of this stuff out of here. Like, get some trash bags." And I'm like, "Oh, what are you talking about?" And I looked around. I was like, "Oh man, I do got to throw some stuff out." But in the midst of doing that, I found a few things. So for those of you guys who don't know, I haven't. My life has been a roller coaster. There's been some high highs. We're like, "Woo." And then there are some low lows where I'm like, I don't know if I'm gonna fucking get out of this. And in those high highs and low lows, there's some certain habits that I created and over time I've done that have really paid dividends. One of them is I journal. So there's this gratitude journal that I have. There's actually 5 of them I found last night and all these things. One of them I found was from 2018 to 2019. And for those of you guys that are soccer fans, this fell out. You can see this. This is a ticket to the World Cup 2014 in Estadio de Maracaná, Avenue Presidente Castellano Branco, Spain versus Chile, 6/18/2014. That fell out of my book. And then this fell out too. Me and my little homie hanging out. That's Brady when he was a little dude. And I started reading through it. And this is a funny one. So in 2018, I went to Moscow for the World Cup. And so in this journal, just you know how it works, if you ever get some of these, one of the practices is in 5 minutes in your day, really figuring out how to build your happiness. And there's, proven principles by psychologists that help people, have great lives. And, one of the things it says, somehow it took psychologists about 80 years or so to realize it's better to focus on positive behavioral traits as opposed to depression, anxiety, and perceptual disorders. This journal creates combining these elements to have a positive impact on your life and see the good in things. And so it starts with the beginning, like a morning routine and then an evening routine. One of the quotes in here, it says, early to bed, early to rise makes a man healthy, wealthy, and wise. There's somebody by the name of Benjamin Franklin that said that. And so the thing that they'd have us do is a little quote at the top. You put the date, and it says, I'm grateful for, and then 3 lines. What would make today great? So things that you'd look for in your future, daily affirmations, and then 3 amazing things that happened today. And so I'll read this one to you. So I'm grateful for my beautiful wife who made me wait to say goodbye. Brady and his imagination and his memory. And keep in mind, he was 5 at the time. The chance to think in the sauna. What would make today great? To have our recruiter's mindset shift. Spend quality time with the boys. Give good energy to the team. Daily affirmations. I am grateful for my self-talk and that I build my own confidence. I'm grateful for my 20 leaders and feeling confident about their opportunity. And then at the end of the day, it said 3 amazing things that happened today. My wallet was found on the flight. So when I was flying from New York City to London on our way to Moscow, I got off the flight and I went to pay for something. I'm like, oh shit, where's my wallet? It had fallen out on the plane. And so they went back into the plane, and thank goodness it was sitting on the chair and nobody picked it up. And they brought it to me outside of the plane. And keep in mind, I'm going to Moscow. I have my wallet, my ID, everything. Thankfully, I have my passport and somewhere in my backpack, but I had nothing. And then it said, what would make today even better? Not talk, not talking as much in training, and be better disciplined my workout. The next day, it says, I'm grateful for the opportunity to travel to Moscow for the World Cup. Freedom to travel in Russia. Hell yeah. What would make today great? Sleep on the flight, uh, get to the hotel safely, check in early, laugh a lot. And then three amazing things that happened today. Met a Peruvian TV, Facebook Live football fan. We landed in Moscow. We had dinner in London. I watched old World Cup videos. And, and I went reading through this thing. I found the journals around COVID and what we had in COVID. Some of the things I talked about was, and one of the practices and one of the things I encourage you guys to think about is how you can use your subconscious mind to drive you to what you want. There's numerous times in 2020 and 2021 that I wrote on there that I'm so happy and grateful now that I'm making millions of dollars in EDM. And this is long before this concept was even off the ground. We were fighting through COVID. We're figuring out if this thing was going to even work. I was figuring out things that, how to pitch people with a mask on. Jason, who's on the call today, can tell you a bit about that. He was a leader in the field at the time. And, and just these things, right? And I'll tell you, I wanted to share a couple of these quick stories. And and by the way, after this, after these journals, these 5-minute journals, I since translated to these journals, and I have, 6 of them from 2020 to 2025, where I've since journaled basically every day, every other day of these different experiences that I went through and things. And my vision is to someday put all of this together and write a book and give it to my kids because I want them to learn what it takes to have a happy life, to have a successful marriage, to have a booming business, how to become a self-made millionaire that no one gave to me, that I've earned every single penny of. And I want to teach people. I want to help people because I know the road to success and the road to accomplishing your goals and living the dreams that you want to live it's not rainbows and butterflies all the way. There's flat tires. There's, the wheels are falling off sometimes in the car, right? Somebody's got to get out of the car and start walking, and then you got to get another car. And so I'll tell you, there's a saying that my friend Luke remembers and loves to say. And what's the saying, Luke? Successful people what?
Don't do a certain thing, they just do things a certain way.
Successful people don't do a certain thing, they do things a certain way. And listen, it's crazy because life hasn't always been amazing. And it's when you get knocked down and you keep moving forward, that's when you learn the most. I don't make the income I make this month, last month, this quarter, this year because of the things I've done. Like the things I do day to day now is actually a lot less than I did 5 years ago, 10 years ago. The amount of time, effort, and heavy lifting that I do now is much, much less because now I get paid for how I think and how I execute and how I hold people accountable, not for the lifting of the actual weights of the business. Right. And so just remember that you're not going to be successful by accident. Each of these journals is 6 months of thought, 6 months of conscious, strategic effort to get this straight, to move towards what I want, to move towards what I've dreamed of. So just remember, if you're getting pushed and you're getting pressured, the Penn State coach had some kid come into the camp that was a high recruit. And I'm interested to see how the new Penn State football coach does because we've only had a few in the last 30 years. And he said, this player complained that he was getting too much pressure, that he didn't know if he can handle the workouts and the effort that it takes to be on the football team. And the response from the coach is, if you can't handle the pressure, there's the door. Because there's other people that will be interested in the pressure because they have dreams and they know pressure creates opportunities. You know, the old saying that pressure creates diamonds. I think pressure creates millionaires. Pressure creates opportunity. I've always felt a responsibility in my life, in my family, that I need to carry. Because for whatever reason, others haven't been able to. They haven't been interested, and it just hasn't fallen their way. I know there's people on this call that feel the same way. But I will tell you, some of you guys new in the business need to stop thinking about what's happening between your 5 to 9 and start thinking about what's happening from your 9 to 5. 9 to 5 meaning PM to AM. Your 9 to 5, when your PM, when your nights are messing with your days, just know people like me think you're a joke, think you'll never succeed until you mature and grow up. And the reason I can tell you that is I was that kid. I was that kid at 22 years old that had all the potential in the world. And I had a coach 2 weeks in and tell me, hey, you know what? You could be good at this thing, but you're not right now because you're not actually fully committed to yourself and actually being an adult. You're too immature to be successful. So I encourage you guys to remember when your days become more important than your nights, you're going to start making moves to succeed. When you're doing things that other people aren't willing to do, like working out and working on your physique, working on your energy, working on your daily habits, drinking water, taking your vitamins, doing things other people don't do. When they're getting sick, you're getting ahead. When they're partying, you're thinking about your future. When you're going to the bank in the morning at 9 a.m., they're still sleeping. It all depends on how you look at it. And when the pressure comes, I encourage you to appreciate the pressure because pressure will force others to stop. For me, pressure has pushed me to get better. It just changed my course. It's like the GPS. You ever wonder why the GPS you're driving, you make a wrong turn or you do something wrong? The GPS doesn't say, you loser, you screwed up, you're never going to get there. No, the GPS simply recalculates. It may take a little bit longer, may take you a little bit on the side road, but it's simply just recalculating and gets back on track. And that getting off track and getting back on track quickly is one of the most important things that people have to learn as they're moving towards what they want. So you guys have an amazing day today. If you have big dreams, like back in 2010, I told myself as our business started booming, I said, hey, I want to go to every World Cup in person in the future. And I've done it every 4 years ever since. Taken my family, I've taken 10 people. Apparently, Benny, I told Ben yesterday, apparently I bought 20 tickets for a game this summer. I didn't realize. I was supposed to buy 12 for the first game in Miami. And I only bought 8 for the second game. I'm like, what the fuck's wrong with me? Like, how did I make that mistake? So now I got to buy 4 more for the second game, and I got to figure out when to do with the other 8 in the first game. I don't know. I may just take some extra people. But happy Saturday. If you're going to dream, dream big.